Carlos, I haven't even introduced him. I will introduce myself once the class starts, but hubby over here is always pushing me to do all these uncomfortable things. So here I am.
And hello, everybody that joined the Zoom. We'll be starting in 7 minutes.
We are multitasking, you guys. So you guys kind of see me talking somewhere. I'm talking to Instagram and Zoom. All I was sharing is that if we get capped here at Zoom because there's 100 people cap, then we will also be joining, doing a live on Instagram with this as well. And we will be recording the Zoom for those, if for any reason you have to leave at any point in time, or, others who join in late, then they will be able to watch this.
Yes, so for those that are in Zoom and those who are in Instagram, I would like to know where you guys are joining us from. So if you guys could type on the chat.
I want to make sure Zoom's chat also works because I want this to be as engaging and interactive as possible. That is the best way to learn. Awesome. Perfect. Gabby on Zoom is joining us from Escondido, California. If you are not from San Diego, we are from San Diego, California. Specifically, we live in Bonita, which is by Chula Vista. I guess Chula Vista is the biggest city next to us. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Nice. Oh my gosh, I wish I could go visit all of you guys. How fun.
You can chat with everyone.
What do you mean?
So me that I don't want to chat with somebody in specific.
Everyone in meeting there.
Oh.
Oh. I thought you were the techie guy, not me.
I am.
The only reason I know that's because once we did a Zoom class, I figured it out by myself. Atlanta, Burbank, San Diego.
Where
Did I
is
say Atlanta?
Gastonia? Is that the second time we hear that?
I've never heard Gastonia. I don't even know if that's in the US. Evelyn just joined.
So for those that are saying that they don't have a code or a password, you don't require. The meeting doesn't have a meeting or a password.
Wait,
you
I'm
just
sorry. The code, right?
a code or a password. You just have to hit the link and register. You have to put your name, your email. So that's the only thing that you have to do.
Okay, so wait, North Carolina. Gastonia is North Carolina, so it is the US. Oh my gosh, I just lost my track of thought. Yes, so besides letting us know where you are from, if you could share in what industry are you in? Are you in the balloon industry? If you are a seasoned decorator, if you're just starting, you need a little bit more guidance. If you are struggling with your communication with clients. And this will just give me a better idea, to kind of gauge where everyone is at and kind of like where and what direction to steer the class. Yeah. So if you guys can provide that information, that would be great.
Yes, and for those asking for the meeting ID, it's on our story. Our last story post, is it reflecting?
Yeah. Let me make sure.
It should be on our last story. You just click the link, join, or what does it say?
Inquiry
process class. You just click on the link and you should be able to register and join. We got 3 more minutes. So yes, so like Diana was saying, if you guys could share what industry you guys are in, balloons, and what is one of the struggles when it comes to doing the inquiry process, talking to clients, what is one of the things that you guys, we call it areas of improvement. So what is one area of improvement that you would like us to discuss on top of what we're already going to cover? So we'll wait for that.
Hi, Melina. A lot of the ladies I'm saying hi to is because they've taken our classes in the past. So it's Marlo. Yeah. So I do like to say, whenever you take a class with us, you come in as a student, but when you leave, you're a friend, a colleague, Lux and family. Yeah.
Is Melina in the
Zoom? I don't
Zoom?
know. Melina, make sure you go to Zoom.
Mhm. It says, I am 100% beginner and excited to start the journey. I currently work in corporate and looking to make a career out of event services based on Riverside. Okay.
Okay, you hit a lot of points, Abby. So, fun fact, you may or may not want to know, but I'm still gonna put it out there. I graduated from UCR, and I lived in Riverside for 4 years. Carlos lived in Riverside with me. Well, we lived together for 2 years in Riverside. He commuted to CSU San Bernardino for 2 years, but we are originally from San Diego. We were just out there for college. And like you, Abby, I left my corporate job, my full-time 9 to 5, only a few months after starting my balloon business. And it was probably not rushed, but I just kind of took the leap of faith, and quit my job without being a profitable business. But hubby, thank God for him, was holding it down for us. But we had a big dream. So, yeah, at first it started like an idea of a side hustle. Then it became a really big dream. I couldn't see so far. I just wanted, this little side hustle to cover a few expenses, and I wanted to be able to stay at home with my 2 little girls. And then it just kind of continued growing. One thing led to another, and then the rest is history. Now we're here trying to give back and share, a lot of the things that we've learned throughout the ups and downs of this business.
And the link is in our last story. For those that are asking, the link is in our last story. And yes, you can still join.
Can you read that? Sorry, you guys are writing too fast on the chat. Okay.
Who's Marlo?
Excuse me? Oh, Marlo, you know
Just
how
kidding.
Carlos is.
Just kidding.
Wow, Marlo already knows you. That's what I love about her. Oh my God, you guys, to know Carlos is to know that he's like a jokester, a prankster. And the sad part is that I'm so gullible. I'm always falling for it. Okay, so I'm gonna read what Marlo wrote. So hello, Marlo, forever last events from Miami, former intern from Luxon, looking to better sales and marketing aspect of our business. Rufina, balloons, asking all the information for the event. I tend to forget things after conversation is done. Marlo was laughing at Carlos for being a little jokester. And then Abby, thank you. Congrats on the success. My father is a business owner and I see all the work that goes into it. I echarle ganas. That is right. Rufina, girl, right there with you. That is why I had to build systems, because Marlo can tell you this. I forgot a lot of things. And you know what? It's very common. Don't feel, if you guys are in that place where like, you know what, I'm trying to juggle all these conversations with different clients, prospective, confirmed clients, and I'm forgetting things, things like that. That is why there is systems, there's ways to do things. So it's like a recipe. You do the same thing every single time, so you know what to expect.
Oh, I love that answer. That question.
Okay, but okay, that was the last one. Okay, now back to Instagram real quick. Thank you, Maite. She put, your work is amazing, but I guess I'm wondering, how did you grow when I feel like it's oversaturated with balloon artists? Let me see. Okay, so that question is really big, and it has to get dissected into different, I guess, portions. So it feel okay. Oh, your phone's dying. It's not charging. The market feels oversaturated, but I don't believe it's oversaturated. I think we feel that it's oversaturated because our eyes are fixed on seeing other balloon artists. We are looking for it. Our eyes are actively looking for it. For example, let's say you just bought yourself a white BMW. Prior to buying that car, you had never seen it. You go to the dealer and you see it. And then there's a term for that. I forgot what it's called. Can you look it up? Okay. And then as soon as you drive that car off the dealer, oh my God, all of a sudden everybody's driving that white BMW. And it's because our eyes are now aware of that and we're just looking for that everywhere. But there is enough to go around. How many burger places, how many pizza places, how many nail salons, like how many insurance agents, how many real estate agents is there? And there's enough to go around. So the best thing we can do, is it capped already? They're messaging us that they can't log in. The best thing we can do is to work on ourselves, to better our business practices, our brand, our person, to be, you know, professional, to go above and beyond for clients, customer service, always number one. And just to know that the only true competition there is, it's you against yourself. You have to be better. Like Carlos likes to say, you have to be 1% better every single day. So I hope that kind of helps. And then when you asked how did we grow, I think there was a lot of things that came together that helped with our growth. We really focused on social media marketing. I think at the time, balloons were, you know, like the new thing in 2019, 2020, when the pandemic hit. For this industry, it was a big like propeller. Like instead of making the balloon industry, you know, collapse or whatever, fail. It actually, I think 2020 was the best year for a lot of balloon companies like ourselves, a lot of balloon vendors. We really took, we saw the opportunity in the midst of the chaos, and that is exactly how you should always look at business. There will always be an excuse or, you know, something that we're thinking about it, you know, with a negative approach. And even when you think that things are going south, there's always an opportunity in everything. It's just having that lens and that perspective of searching for the opportunity. Kind of like I said with the white BMW thing, it's the same with opportunity. Like always train your mind to look at the positive in negative situations. Okay, Balloon Decor by Jessica. I just saw a YouTube video 3 years ago. You pay him now? Wait, no. Oh, let me share the tea. I did not pay him. And because I didn't pay him, he left me. He started his own company. But now he's kind of making a little comeback to Luxon, just a little, just to help me out. But he started his own marketing agency. So now he pays himself and he has to pay me for doing nothing, for being his wife.
I love it.
Oh, no,
right.
thank you, my dear.
So I want to
It's
be
7:30?
respectful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
7:36.
Yes.
For those here, we might cap out here, so I don't want to turn this one off.
Okay.
But
We'll
if you
give it about 10
wanna,
minutes.
if you want to join the webinar, the link is in our last story. I know there might be some confusion. Oh, we got a thumbs up. There might be some confusion, but you just have to click the
because we're
link.
leaving.
You have to click the link and register. You have to put your name, your email, I believe, and then you'll log in. But for those that joined the Zoom, hello everyone. How's everybody doing?
Great.
I love it that
Hi, Rufina. Now I can see her.
we have a rule, and I know might be a little late wherever you guys are at. But we love to see faces. We love to connect. We love to I know Instagram doesn't allow us to.
Evelyn is unable to log in. Why do you think people are struggling?
I'm not sure, amigos. We have about 44 people logged in. Did anybody have troubles logging in?
Those of you who are already on Zoom, did you encounter any troubles?
Just a little, but I think when I logged into Zoom, when it says just sign in, it gave them like 3 options to log into their either Google, their Apple, or Facebook. And then once you connect, select those, then they'll be able to connect.
Perfect. So you guys have to, whoever, we're gonna talk to the guys on Instagram or girls. You have to, and then this is like looks creepy like that. I'll close in. You guys have to log in to Zoom. If you're not logged into your Zoom account, it won't let you log in.
So it's not like they could just click on the link.
Mm,
They
I
have
don't
to
think
be
so.
logged in
I
into their
believe,
account.
they need to.
There
log
is
in.
no site we can register and then we can see the videos and stuff like that, or just the Zoom.
So we will be recording this class. I'm not sure exactly how we will be delivering the recording of this, but it is being recorded. And I think the delivery would be via email. So if you already sent us your email, that is why we were able to send the link, then we will probably be sending it to that email as well. The link, SD Cam, the link is in our last story.
Okay, yes, so I know what's happening. So you cannot log in to Zoom through Instagram. So it's gonna say the Zoom is not supported. You have to click out of it. So you have to click the three dots, and then it's gonna say
Open in browser.
open in browser. That's how you're gonna log in. It will not allow you to log in through the Instagram. Okay, so let's get started.
Right. Can you open the PowerPoint?
Yes. You want to do a welcome?
Yes, so welcome everyone officially. We were just kind of wanting to warm up and chat it up a little bit with all of you. Thank you for being here. I know we all have lives, busy schedules, so the fact that you're here really tells me that you are invested in yourself and in growing your business. So thank you for trusting us with that and giving us your time. Today's class will focus on the inquiry process and how it is that we do this at Lux and Balloons. It'll be a short class. Like I said, we want to be mindful of your time. We're shooting for about an hour. It'll be like small bites of information. And then we will do some Q&A. And yeah, any questions you guys have along the way, feel free to write it on the chat. Carlos will be assisting me today with all of that to make sure we don't miss any of your questions. And let's get started. I am Diana, and this is, well, on Instagram. Carlos? All right, I cannot see my PowerPoint.
You cannot because we have to share a screen.
Oh, okay. Can I see it here too, though?
Mhm.
Amazing. I am very used to giving classes in person, so online is a little bit different. And we do have an online class, but it's pre-recorded, so it's not like I'm there live every single time. So bear with me if it's a little awkward. I'm trying my best. Yeah, Carlos and I think what you forgot to mention, like our little mantra, is that we are very relational versus transactional. So we go on tangents all the time. We want to know all about you guys, your stories, where you're at, all the things. We're just very social people, I guess.
Yes, that's why I said we encourage to turn on your camera.
Yes. And I want this to be as what is the word? Interactional. Interactive.
Are you guys able to see our screen?
Yes.
Okay, so are we just gonna keep this live?
Yeah, because I just want to make sure that you can join.
Okay, and then on Instagram, it won't be able to say, but we can always send
Yes.
the link. All right, Zoom, thumbs up. Well, Instagram won't be able to see it, but
No.
Zoom, thumbs up if you can see the shared screen, right? PowerPoint. Yeah, can I see it? No, I'm giving
Yes.
thumbs up. Okay, perfect, thumbs up. Awesome. Right. Is there like a mouse, or you're gonna be moving
Here.
it for me?
Here.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, so streamlining the inquiry process. Like Rufina shared earlier in the chat section, she mentioned that, we could start talking to clients at any point. A lot of times, obviously, they start as prospectives. It doesn't mean that they're confirmed clients and that they've sent you the deposit. But we can have multiple conversations going on at once, and retaining that information could be a lot sometimes, especially if we don't have a system of doing things. So for starters, I have an email just for the business, and that is where I prefer all of my clients to send their inquiries to, or an inquiry form, lead form, however you want to call it. That takes me to where to start. The first step is to having a lead form, and some of the types of lead forms there is a website. So when we started, we didn't have a website, just because the business wasn't there yet. We were just starting. If we had like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 clients in a month, that was a lot. So it was very, very manageable. And then as you know, it starts picking up like any, normal business. You're staying consistent, you're putting in the work, people are getting to know your brand, your services. It's like a snowball effect. You start attracting more and more clients. So that is when we decided to invest in a website. And since then we've upgraded our website once more. And these are things that your business will kind of show you along the way. Like, when is it time to upgrade from one step to the other? You could have a landing page. If you don't know what a landing page is, Carlos can explain that later in this class. But you can get those in any websites. You could hire somebody to do that for you, like Upwork or Fiverr.com, or you can always have a Google form as well. Those are free. I never really wanted to go that route because I wanted to streamline everything. I wanted my client to make it as easy as possible for my clients to look up who we were, our brand. Any website allows for that, from information about your services, your location, things like that. I always tell students, always try to spoon feed the client. The less clicks, the less time they have to invest in looking into what services you're offering, how to get a hold of you, the higher the probability of them hiring you, and it will also save you time and make you look more professional to them. So like I said, we have a website, and within that website, we integrated an inquiry form that is connected to a CRM, but CRM is a whole nother class. But all right, let me see. Okay, so the most important part is what questions to ask a client and why. So I'm going to break this down, why it is that I ask these questions every single time to the client, even before I book them, because this will give me an idea of, are they the ideal client? Do I even have availability? Do I even service their area? I'm going to go to the next one. All right, I'm gonna go one by one. Obviously, most basic thing, their name, their contact number. Obviously, you need this because the day of the install, the day of the event, maybe you need to get a hold of them. Obviously, you need their phone number. I can't tell you how many times at the beginning, I didn't ask for their phone number, and I needed to get a hold of them, but I didn't ask for the phone number. I was contacting them through Instagram. They wouldn't answer through Instagram, and I was just wasting time. I had another event to go to. So obviously it was a lack of organization on my behalf. So obviously now it is like, it's a must. I need to have that information from the client.
Then I know I'm messing with your stuff.
Okay.
Trying to get the Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay. You guys, he's messing with my things. I can't even see my screen right now.
Let me take a picture of this.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. We have quite a few people asking for this.
Okay. All right.
Grace.
All right, perfect. Now, event address. Obviously, I do this to see where it's at. Not only will it let me know if it's an event that's within the areas that I service, but also it will help you when it comes time to giving a quote. Is it indoors? Is it outdoors? This will give you, this will let you know, for example, if it's outdoors, it's very different to install indoors than outdoors. Outdoors, you probably need more weight. You could actually let the client know beforehand, you know what, it's not going to work out. It's very windy, it's very hot. Is it the summer? Will it be exposed to the sun? The balloons can pop. So there's, out of all these little snippets of information, you can already start planning logistically everything you need to know for this event and if it's going to work out or not, and that you can let the client know beforehand what the expectations and requirements will be. So this is pretty much setting yourself up for success. Because if you just assume a lot of these things, it's a recipe for disaster. What type of space is it? Is it a venue, a house, a high rise, a park, community center, apartment, you name it? If it's a venue, do they require a COI, which is a certificate of insurance? For liability purposes, you need to protect yourself. And then if they will require a W-9, this is mainly when the venue themselves are hiring you directly. A W-9 is just pretty much showing them that you are a legitimate business, that you're good with the IRS, and for tax purposes, they can write you off. A house, if it's a house, will you be entering through a side gate? Is it a gated community? I can't tell you how many times I did the mistake of not asking that, and it was a gated community. I kept calling them and calling them. Obviously, the client is running around. It's the day of their event. The last thing they want to do is be talking to vendors, so all of this should be taken care of beforehand. And because I didn't get their codes, I, got delayed for my next visits. So my next events, I'm sorry. And like I said, if you can minimize the margin of error and be as organized as possible for the day of the event, and again, this will make you look more professional, more prepared. Even if it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm asking the client all these things beforehand. But again, it's because you want to deliver the best customer service, and you want it to look seamless to the client, which will really set you apart. If you think about it from a client's perspective, if they hire another vendor that's not prepared, that the day of they're late because they didn't have a code or because they couldn't get a hold of the client, blah blah blah, as opposed to another vendor that already had all of that taken care of, well then that will obviously highlight you, it will set you apart from other vendors. Okay.
Questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Any questions?
Oh, no. Well, I'll continue going. He distracts me, guys.
Sorry.
A high rise. Oh my God, Marlo was there when I did an event at a high rise, and because I didn't ask these questions, it was so unorganized, so hectic. We looked for like 3 different elevators. I couldn't get a hold of the client. The staff from the high rise was not that helpful. So an install that should have taken, I don't know, like an hour, it ended up taking like almost 3 hours, I think. It delayed us for the next event. I had to send off Carlos with my father-in-law. It was just a very hot mess. So whenever you have events at a high rise, definitely, like especially at a high rise, make sure to ask all these questions, like where is the loading elevator, all these things. Where is the specific entrance? Because it's very different for a vendor than to like a regular guest of that high rise. And if there's any space restrictions, let's say the elevator is, I don't know, let's say 6 or 7 feet tall, probably taller, but let's say your wall is like 9 feet tall, like will it fit there or not, or the width of the elevator? All of these things, I always say, do your due diligence. Don't expect the client to know all of these things because you are the professional. A park, at least here in San Diego, a lot of parks in San Diego do not allow balloons. And it hasn't happened to me, but I have heard stories of fellow colleagues that they showed up to the event, balloons blown up, everything ready to go. The client had already given them a deposit. They decorated the whole thing, and then the park manager, ranger, whatever you call them, shows up and tells them, balloons are not allowed. You have to remove them. And the client was really upset. They didn't want to pay the vendor, the balloon vendor, decorator. And you did all this hard work, but because you didn't take that extra step of doing the research yourself, now you are put in this situation. Community center, same thing. Any specific instructions before you arrive? Where's the parking? Where can you park? Where can you unload? how much time, is there any codes, is there any specific person you need to speak to, if there's a point of contact for the venue or the rec center, what is their number? Let me see. Okay, and then installation time and event start time. Those are two very different things. Event start time, let's say the event starts at 5 for whatever the time is. But in some of these places like venues, community centers, there's time restrictions. So you need to know all this information, especially if you're having multiple events in any given day. You need to know your time frames, because if you have, let's say, an event at a house, it's way more flexible than at a venue. If a venue is only giving you an hour to install, you need to make sure that that time frame is already accounted for. So you're gonna work with the other client that has their event at their house. You know, you can ask them, can I go earlier? Can I go later? So you can make sure that you will have the time available for the venue. So I always like to know installation time and event start time to see how I can play around with the times and plan accordingly before. Tear down time, same thing. This is still something that I struggle with. I don't know why Carlos always wants to, like, I don't want to say divorce me, but he gets really upset because I asked for tear down time, but I forget to schedule staff. So guess who ends up picking up? And he has plans and he has all these things. So anyways, always ask for tear down time. Obviously a lot of the times when it's at a house, their clients are very understanding, super flexible. They will let you go the next day or 2 days later. If it's on a Saturday, I ask if I could go back until Monday. So, and if it's a venue, a lot of them, they need their things out that same night. So just always ask, don't assume. I always ask for budget, and it's always a touchy subject with clients, and they get a little bit uncomfortable with it, especially when you're on the phone. In an inquiry form, you know, it's not as bad because you're not interacting with them directly. So it gives you a really good idea of where they're at. A lot of times you have to educate clients. They don't know what they don't know, right? So I sometimes get, you know, I do have a minimum on my page. I have 350. So if a client has a budget of 300, then it's a nice filter to have, because you already know that it's they're gonna know, and you're gonna know that you are not the right vendor for them and they're not the right client for you. And then, so let's say they put their budget is $500, but then they send you a Pinterest picture that, you know, just by looking at it, that it's an event that's 1,000 to 1,500 or whatever. Then you get to educate them, you know, thank you for your inquiry. I see that you have a budget of 500 and we received your picture. Do you want all the elements in this picture? And that's another thing that I didn't write well, I do have inspo pictures. So when they do send you inspo pictures, ask specifically, like, what in this inspo picture do you like? Is it just the colors of the balloons, the balloon length, the balloon garland style? Do you want the props, the cutouts, the backdrop? Ask. It's always better to over ask, even if you feel like you're being annoying, because I feel like that sometimes. But then they do appreciate it. Clients appreciate that you're being so detailed with their event. And then I can educate them, like, you know, I see that you wanted this. Let's say they told me, yes, I want all the elements. Then I let them know, okay, look, well, this is more within this budget or price range. However, we could recreate something, you know, with the same theme or whatever, just on a smaller scale. Let me know if this is something, you know, that you would like to move forward with or not. Always, you know, communicate instead of just like jumping into it and wanting to give a quote. Like, don't invest that much time beforehand before having all the pieces of information you need, because then you're just investing time into a client that's probably not going to move forward. We go to inspo pictures. That is the reason why. It gives me, knowing the budget and the inspo picture is just going to let you know, like, if you guys are on the same page and if the client, you know, has a good idea about how much value or worth is in that backdrop. And I always really like to ask, how did they hear about you, about us, or whatever, about your business? I give them a drop down option of like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, returning client, all the things, and this will help you with your marketing. We have noticed that, for example, if we are doing ads, if we are doing organic content, and a lot of our inquiry forms, I would say like 90% of our inquiry forms are from Instagram. They always click on Instagram. So that means whatever we're doing on Instagram, it's working. So for example, if we are trying all the avenues of social media from YouTube, TikTok, why would we invest more, like why would we put more effort into doing like more TikToks or YouTube if what is clearly giving us the revenue is Instagram or Google Ads or our website, whatever. And obviously the other big one is returning clients or referral. We get those a lot. So that just tells you, if however you're doing your customer service, customer retention, it's working because they are clearly recommending you to their friends and family. So yeah, any questions? I haven't even, we lost the PowerPoint. Was that when you were playing around with it that they lost the PowerPoint?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Okay, did you start off with your minimum? Okay, so I have a question from Anna. Does it start there or since before?
No, right here.
Okay, so Anna is asking, do you recommend to talk by text with the customer or give them a call? So here's the thing. Clients can contact us from a lot of different sources. They could contact you directly from any social media platform. They can text you, they can email you, they can call you, but that is why I like to just refer them, like send them to my email or my inquiry form, so it's all centralized. It's all in one spot because it's very in the day-to-day that you're, we're not only business owners, we have a life. So it will be very easy to forget to be checking all of your messages and all your social media platforms, plus your text messages where you get personal phone, text messages from your friends and family or whatever else you get text messages from, so they can get lost. So the less brain power you can save yourself, the better. That is why I just like having everything in one spot. That is why I also put no DMs on my Instagram. Although people don't listen, they still want to DM you. I always encourage them and send them a link. There is some returning clients that obviously they're VIP. We all have those, and they can contact me wherever they want. But because I know that they are, clients that will hire us, giving them a call, it's really good. I think that's the most effective because it's fast. You're able to sense them and there's no miscommunication. The thing with emails, as they work really well, but they can also be misinterpreted, especially when there's questions around like money or being flexible about certain things. They can misunderstand your tone and get upset or offended or whatnot. So if you feel giving them a call is a better option, then go ahead, but still ask for all of these pieces of information. Write them down and type it into wherever you save all of your information. Okay, let me see. Okay, so Mike is asking me, did you start off your minimum at 300 or how did you go about that? When I just started, there was no minimum. I was just trying to survive and get business and, get the wheels rolling. So I did not have a minimum. I started implementing a minimum once I saw that I was getting a lot of bookings, and like they say, where there's, supply and demand, the greater the demand, the less of the supply. So when we start getting a lot of events, that's when I decided to put a minimum, because it's, if you think about it, it's much better, for example, I don't know, to have 3 $1,000 events than 10 $300 events. It's less running around, less planning logistically. So that is when I decided to do that, because it wasn't as profitable anymore to be taking clients, especially with inflation and all the things, clients that had a budget. I started at 300, I believe, or I think I started at 300. I'm at 350 right now, and I am thinking of raising that once more. just because things change. And this is another thing, you always have to adapt to the changes of your business, of the industry, of the marketplace, because things change. Like inflation right now, it's insane. For us now, when we started, we were working from home, but then we moved into the warehouse. So now we have a lot more overhead than when we were working from home. We now have staff that we pay. You know, we got our, oh, Evelyn joined us. We have a van, you know, that we have to pay insurance on.
Employees.
I'm sorry?
Employees.
Yeah, I said staff. Yeah. For the warehouse, it's not only the warehouse, it's the utilities, it's insurance for that as well. So a lot of things go into it. So for me, it has to make sense, right? We are in business to be profitable because you want to make a living out of it. So that is the reason why we started implementing minimums, and also, like I said, to filter prospective clients. I've had clients that reach out to me and then they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just saw that you have a minimum and that is out of my budget. And I would much rather have that than them, I don't want to say waste my time, but yes, waste my time and doing all these things and be like, oh, actually, no, I don't meet your minimum. So don't be scared to do that. It is a mindset thing, more than anything. When I hear students tell me, I'm scared to put a minimum, I'm this, I'm that. But if you think about it, what type of client you're trying to attract and what type of work are you trying to do? So if you're wishing and dreaming about doing these super nice setups filled with like all these personalized backdrops, cutouts, realistically, they have to have a budget of at least like $1,000. But if you're accepting $200 clients, it's not going to happen. And guess what? You will continue attracting the same type of client because all they're seeing in your page is the $200 jobs. And then they will share that with their friends, you know, like, oh, she only charged me $200, blah, blah, blah. So the cycle continues. So to break that, you know, you always have to let go of things to make space for those things, new things that you want to receive. So we had to do that. It was really, really hard also psychologically and emotionally to put that minimum because I knew that meant I was going to lose a lot of clients that helped me get to where we were at. But doing business is like an elevator. You know, when you're on the first floor, a lot of people go inside the elevator, but as you're going up, people get off that elevator, and it's okay to let go. You know, don't be scared. Don't let fear cripple your decisions. And that is where we're at. You know, that's mainly what we want to target, higher paying clients. And if that's your goal as well, then I would be as clear as possible with clients and make it easy for them. You know, like there's clients that shop at the Swap Meet and Ross, there's clients that shop at Nordstrom, at Louis Vuitton, at Gucci, and they don't even flinch. So same with your services, don't be scared, be confident in what you're offering. And I say this, you know, if to be confident, you need to be prepared. So invest in yourself, and not necessarily, it doesn't have to be with us, but just like people go to college to invest in themselves, they want a better career. Same with this industry and any other industry, educate yourself. Don't take shortcuts. I know there's YouTube University, but that will leave you more confused than how you started. I always say, like, take advice from those who have gone before you and already walked that path. You know, you will avoid a lot of mistakes. You will learn from others' experience, and you won't have to, you know, it will save you time and money. Money comes and goes, but time, that one doesn't come back. So just, you know, I would encourage you all to invest in yourself. A ver, scroll up. I think before Marcela, they had already.
What's the last one?
What's the percentage that you usually ask for deposit? Oh, I'm getting a little bit thirsty, ladies. Oh, I think I thought I put that on the, but I didn't. So I do request a 50% retainer. And I always say non-refundable retainer just because of legalities. If they take you to court and you put non-refundable deposit for whatever reason, the client could still like win the case and you would have to refund them. But when you put non-refundable retainer, then they can't get their money back. Obviously when it's fair that you actually like offer the services or whatever the situation is, you know. Marce wrote, we need a backup for the information, email, screenshot, Google form. Yes, so you are a step ahead of me and I will get to that. What's a good source to create inquiry forms? Links. So as we mentioned earlier, there's Google Forms. I know a lot of fellow colleagues use Google Forms, which will kind of centralize. And it's like, if you're starting, it's like the free option. We use Google Workspace a lot in different ways, more of like internally for the business aspect, not so much for client management, but more so for everything that goes on behind the scenes. But we use our website. The first website that I got built, they used a plugin that is called WPS Forms. So if you do have a website, look into that. Talk to your website developer and see if they can integrate that. Right now we're doing everything through a CRM, and through the help of my hubby and the website developer, we were able to do this whole thing where everything just gets funneled into one spot, and that really helps. And let me see, can you go down? So my highest price right now is $300 with a deposit or half that because I am starting out. Is that good for now? So that is a very subjective question. We are all in different journeys and stages of our lives. We all live in different areas. You know, what is your cost of living? What is your situation like? What is your expertise? If you're starting out, have you taken classes? How confident do you feel? How does, you know, your work look? But I would say 300 as a starting point, it's good because like I said, when I started like at 200. Not for like full on setups, but probably mainly just for garlands. I think when I started, I was probably charging like $17 per linear foot, which I mean, it was 5 years ago, but still, yeah, I'm so glad I know how to price now, you guys. Yeah, so I would say, and I say it's a subjective again, because what does $300 mean? What does it get them? You could have a $300, you know, like average, highest price of $300, but make sure you're not charging $300 for a $1,000 setup. It has to be according to what you're offering. So it doesn't, at this point, it's not so much how much are you charging your revenue. It's like, what's your profit margin? Do you know, are you doing the math? How much are you making out of that? Which brings me to, I will be giving a pricing only class, and I will be talking more about that in a little bit. So it's very important to know our numbers, like to the T, to the last detail. Okay. What CRM do we use? At the moment, we use Go High Level. It's called Go High Level, but there's a ton out there. It's mainly what works for you. I had analysis paralysis for years until I was forced to use a CRM. I'm still getting acquainted with it, used to it, because I already kind of had my systems, but it's going. Okay, so she's saying just for garlands. Perfect. But how long are your garlands? Make sure you're not giving a 20-foot garland for like $300. Due to unforeseen weather changes, clients want to postpone their event. How do you proceed? Okay, first of all, do you have a contract in place for that? I've never actually, well, I don't want to say never. I probably only had in the past 5 years about 2 of those happen, and one of those was last year. So they let me know ahead of time because I guess they checked the weather that it was going to rain, and they asked me if it was okay to postpone. So for myself, like I said, we're all in different stages. It's very easy for myself to adapt and be flexible with clients because I have staff and I have a warehouse and a transportation method that makes it very easy for me to just be flexible with clients. So that's also one of the things that I like to offer, like to set me apart from other vendors. For example, I think the client's event was probably like in a week's time when they reached down. They're like, hey, I see that it's going to rain. Is it okay if I move it to like 2 more weeks? So 2 weeks after their original event date. And I just said, yes, I already have their deposit. I hadn't bought necessarily or inflated any of their things. We usually inflate three days before the event. And so we were able to accommodate her. But I would say the only way that I would probably, I mean, you know, in your contract, if you have the inclement weather clause, then you're not held liable, unfortunately, because if you already did all the work, you inflated, did all the things that you had to do, then, you know, and it's already in the contract, then it's really up to you, you know, up to your discretion. How do you feel about it? Like, is it a client that is not worth losing? Do you not mind? Was a lot of, you know, your time and money invested into this where you can't afford, you know, to reimburse the person? A lot of those things, you know, you have to keep in mind, and that's where I would say there's not like a right or wrong answer. It's not black and white. So it's something that you really have to kind of figure out yourself, like for your business, like what do you want your, you know, what are your core values? Like what do you want your business to be known for? What type of relationship do you want with your clients? All these things. And the thing is that all of these cases are case to case. Like the situations can vary every single time. So I would say just have a contract in place, use your discretion. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, can you go up? Okay. Is a business license required? Do we need to add this to our invoice or inquiry form? I don't want to say no, but I did when I started, I did things right. That's just the type of person I am. If I'm gonna start anything, I just like to do it good from the beginning. You just want to lay a solid foundation whenever you start anything. So I did start by registering my business, and let me see. I don't always provide invoices unless a client specifically asks me for one. And if I provide all my clients with a contract, I do not, unfortunately. I only provide them with a contract when I know there's a lot to lose. Like if it's an event of probably upwards of over $1,000, I will, but it is a good practice to send a contract to every single client because you just never know. So that is one of the things I will be implementing, probably a shorter version of my contract because I have a very lengthy contract. But it's a good practice. You are protecting yourself and the client, and it makes sure that you are both parties are on the same page and are aware of expectations. How do you make an actual contract right now? I'm using HoneyBooks, but I'm not sure how contracts actually work. So when I had my first website done, my web developer, I paid her to make me a contract. So she was experienced in making contracts for a lot of different industries. And you know, she had worked with lawyers and everything. So she made one that was I guess like tailored to our industry or to my business. So I purchased that from her, and that's what I've been using ever since. I should probably get it revised. A lot of things have changed. But I would recommend having, you know, paying legal, like I don't a lawyer to go over that contract. And yes, let's go to the next. What time is it? I want to make sure I'm keeping track of time.
I'm already 16,
Okay.
4 minutes.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, some of you got ahead of me. Next steps, I always request a retainer. Like Marce had mentioned, always make sure you have a backup. So what we do once the client sent the deposit via whatever payment method you accept, we do everything from invoices like Square, Zelle, Venmo, once we have that, we add them to our calendar. The calendar that we use, it's Google Calendar. It's super easy to integrate into systems like CRMs or whatever. And it has all the like sections that we need to really like plan out the logistics and timeframes of events. So whenever we have multiple events that have been confirmed, we just start adding them to the calendars. We put the timeframes, the address, the name, and then on the description part, we have all the details of the event. And then at the bottom, it has an attachment. And on that attachment, we add our order form, which that is our backup. So I have, you know, my interaction with the client, and then I do my admin part and plan the logistics of it. And then my production team will put together an order form that pretty much they're like the translators from what the client wants to what has to get done back at the warehouse. So once they have this order form, the production team just comes in, looks at that that order form. They pull whatever they need. They look at inventory. We have what we need. If not, they will order what we need. And that helps us, all of us as a team, stay organized and be like in synchrony with what the client ordered. So that is our backup. We take screenshots or we save the pictures of what the client sent us in terms of pictures. But everything else when it comes down to the information, because obviously back and forth conversations, it's a lot, like it's a whole compilation of things, right? So you want to get all the like important key components of the conversation, like all the questions that is why it's so much better to just have an inquiry form, because the conversation is just shorter. It mainly just talks about, you know, the details of the event. And then on that order form, let's say the client is like, okay, I want to, I'm sorry?
I'm gonna share our website
Okay,
so they can see.
okay.
You can-
Oh
you
my
can-
gosh, I get distracted very easily. I was on a roll here. Okay, so let's say the client says, you know, I need 2 Chiata walls. I need one to be blue and the other one to be beige, and I want the garland to be sectioned and or color blocked, and I want it to be gold, blue, and white. So all of those little details, our order form already has all of that on there. So when so there's like no disconnect between what the client wanted and to what my production team is already doing. So there's not like the, let's say, the assumption that the production team was like, oh, I thought it was a 8-foot garland when it clearly said it was a 10-foot. Or, oh my God, I thought it was a mixed confetti style garland when it was a color blocked garland. Or, oh my God, I thought it was royal blue and whatever other colors. Everything is just laid out. So communication is key, and how you transfer, how you translate that conversation with the client onto your order form is key. I mean, when you're working by yourself, no, even when you're working by yourself, you cannot trust yourself. I don't trust myself. That's the biggest lie I tell myself. I will remember. I'm not gonna forget. No, girl, write that down. Save that information because you will forget. Especially if you're doing like upwards of 20 events in a month. Like it's impossible. At least for me, it is. If you can retain all that information, kudos to you, because I cannot. So you're sharing that?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, like my neck's a little stiff. So that's our order form. That's just an example. And a client has to, they're all required, right? All of
Mhm,
those.
all those stuff have asterisks.
Yeah, so all the things that have asterisks, so I will not accept an inquiry form if they haven't filled out all of those pieces of information, because I'm still gonna ask them for that. So might as well them fill that out. And then that just tells me whoever took the time to fill all of those sections out, it means that they're really interested in my services. So the likelihood of us, each other wasting our time is lower. And even then, I would say about one in 5 inquiries we close. So if you're closing every single inquiry you're getting, I would be a little concerned, because that might just mean you are not pricing correctly. So just be vigilant of that, unless, I mean, you're attracting the ideal client every single time, which is amazing. Let me see. Contract, okay.
This one. I think she might have missed it or. You didn't
About
know
what?
that. If you need to open a company or have a license.
No, it's not necessarily required. I mean, you don't to start a side hustle or like a balloon business, not really, but I would highly encourage it just because you just want to set the foundation from the get-go. You don't want to be catching up to the business because once you're trying to catch up to the business, it's probably, I don't want to say a little too late, but you're already on a roll. Like you are busy, you are booked, you are planning, and the last thing you want to do is when you don't want to be dealing with these type of things. Because it takes time. It's time out of your day and having to go and register and find out all the information. So if you're just starting, I would just encourage you just do it now. Like, what's the holdup? It's not super expensive. It's fairly easy, and we cover that actually in our business and marketing class.
And liability too.
For liability and all the good things. I always like to encourage all of you to also request remaining balance. That is just because I've heard a lot of horror stories. I've only gotten burned once where a client didn't pay me remaining balance. Thank God it was like a very small amount. And it was very surprising to me because it was a returning client. He had hired me like 3 times prior to that. So anyways, yeah, he never paid me, and after that I just changed how I do things. So I do first of all, I let clients know the expectations when it comes down to payments. When I request that 50% deposit, I let them know remaining balances due a day before. A lot of other colleagues do 2 days, 3 days, up to a week before the event. It's just how you feel, what's your comfort level with that. And yeah, any questions? I think that is it. Short and sweet. And I hope it, gave you some gold nuggets on how to do things. And yeah, so I will wait. So while you ladies send me your questions, I wanted to let you all know that we will be offering, because I've been seeing, there's always recurring questions that I see from those who are starting, and even with seasoned decorators, because you could be, I mean, I've known of decorators that have been decorating for many years and they're not necessarily profitable. You could be booked and busy and not be profitable, and it's very important to know your numbers. I know that money is always for many, like a subject that it's taboo or touchy subject, but it's really important when you're running a business, because I always say, as much as I love this industry and we get categorized as the balloon decorators or the balloon lady, we are business owners, and businesses can only thrive if they are profitable. And a lot of that, more than the math, has to do with our mindsets. So I will be offering an online pricing class where we're gonna go in deep into every single detail and like every factor that has to be considered, and how to overcome like certain fears around pricing. Because like I said, we're all human. I face them myself, and I know others too. They open up and they share these things with me, and it's always a fear of like, oh, I'm scared of charging more because what if they don't want to hire me anymore? And then that's just, it's a lie. Yeah, I said it. It's a lie. Because there is, look to your left and to your right. I'm not saying to compare yourselves, but just observe. Like there's a lot of other really big, like balloon vendors out there that it's very visible that they are being profitable, that they are having events, but that it's easy to see growth in others, right? So it's because they're pricing correctly. So if you're just seeing like, oh my gosh, I work every single weekend and I have all these events and I'm so stressed out, but I just can't make ends meet, then there's a disconnect. There's something that's not right, so I want to shine the light on that subject and offer a class on that. And everybody who is in this class right now, I will be offering a discount. I'm very grateful that you guys are actually here and investing your time with us. And it's also a way of giving back. All right, let me see.
There's a marketing question.
Espérate. How much money do you recommend to put into marketing? Is that the first question of
Mhm.
the other ones? Honestly, when we just started, everything was organic. We didn't pay. We just started paying ads this year. Yeah, this year on year 5. And that's only because Mr. Carlos has mastered that. So we don't just, I guess you can say we tried this, but we don't no longer throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. We are very intentional about what we do, due diligence. You know, if you have to invest in education, we do that. We put in the time, we talk to the right people, we get mentors. Like I said, those who have gone before us, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in balloons. We're very thankful to have a community of friends who are business owners. They own venues, you know, real estate companies, whatever. And we always go to them for advice, like, what do you think, or what should we do? But we don't just, you know, make decisions out of our own feelings, fears. You know, what's the other word I want to say? Like out of desperation, because I used to do that at the beginning. I was so desperate just to get clients. Like, I was like, whatever, they could pay me whatever. I just want to work. I just want events, you know. Kind of felt like I was failing if I wasn't getting any events, because I was looking to my left and to my right, comparing myself, and comparison is the thief of all joy. No, yeah, yeah. So don't do that. Don't compare yourself. We're all in our own walk, in our own journey. And what's most important is that, you know, that you grow and that your confidence grows along the way. So I just lost my track of thought.
Well, I wanted to share that. We haven't even wrapped our van.
Yeah, yeah. So delayed gratification.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot of people buy their commercial van or buy their vans, and first thing they go and do is put in $5,000, $8,000 into wrapping a van. And yes, it does work as marketing, but a lot of people don't know you. People buy people. And if you don't have a relationship, if your customer service is not on point, if your sales is not on point, if the way you communicate is not on point, the wrapping the van thing is not going to help. So one of the things, like Diana shared, we go through training. I have a sales training call that I do every Tuesday. Marketing, paying courses to be able to learn more than what I know. So I think that's more important than wrapping. And it's just an example. But when it comes to marketing, there's not a price that you could pay. I would first invest in myself, learn, because there's so many avenues. There's like 18 avenues of marketing, from the SEO on the website, from a CRM system, from social media marketing, Google ads, Facebook ads, branding, everything, artificial intelligence. Like, I could keep going. And I first go and educate myself. And there's areas where I'm not going to be able to go and put my efforts because they're so hard. Like, it takes, like, developing a website. I'm not going to become a developer. And I go and learn the basics of what a website looks, and then I go and hire people, and then I can interview them and be like, hey, I need this. And if they don't know how to respond, okay, they don't know what they're doing. And that's how I vet all my
vendors.
Yeah, vendors or prospects. So we are big in education. Educate yourself and ask. Like, right now, you guys have a great opportunity to just ask as many questions. And if we don't get to all those answers, we might share them on social media because we like to help. So yeah, that was my 2 cents.
Okay, and then Melina said, we think out of our wallets sometimes. Yes, I love that quote. Always give it in my class. Yes, do not price out of, you know, your own wallets. And that just practically means, just because you wouldn't spend $1,000 on balloon decor doesn't mean a client will not do that. This is a service. So, because if it were just balloons, well, then we would all be distributors or retailers or whatever. So, I mean, your client can go and buy the balloons themselves, but they don't know how to do it. You know, they don't know how to, they're not investing all the time in running around the whole city looking for things for the props, going back and forth with other vendors, planning how the wood sign's gonna look, how the castle cutout needs to look. Like you're doing that for them. It's your time, and that's what they're paying for. Your time, your service, the luxury, the convenience, because it's a service industry. It's a luxury for them. So they don't need balloons. And if they want them, then they have to pay for them, a ver.
They're asking, there's like a lot of questions. This says,
A ver, espérate. No, more up.
That's it.
We're missing. No, look. No, up. Okay, this is where it starts.
okay.
My business is different, but this was all very useful information that I know I'm going to be using. Thank you. I thank you, Sylvia, my beautiful friend. If you are in San Diego and you need a 360 photo booth, contact Sylvia Cleveland. Are they able to see themselves on the chat?
Mhm.
Okay.
I believe so.
And I am huge on networking. We should be supporting each other. I always say community over competition, even if you're in the same industry. If you do balloons, I mean, and a lot of you already know me, and we are friends, and we love helping each other. And I stand by that. We are stronger together. I don't care what anybody says. We need to stick together. Okay, I'm still practicing, but money is holding me back at the moment. Every check I try to buy balloons and decor for pics and practice, but what do you do when you really don't have money for more practice? So, okay, let's see. So when we were just starting, regardless, I still would charge 50%. And this is where you have to be a very good steward of your money. And I understand, like I said, we are all in different seasons. We are all feeling it financially. Like, let's just be real. We're all feeling it. The economy feels a little tight right now, but it's not impossible. There's enough to go around. I always say, think positive. Don't go doom and gloom status. So I would still, work with whatever you have, whatever balloons you have. Like if you already have content, share that. Just keep sharing it. Don't think you're being annoying. If you don't have an Instagram page, make one. Start posting. I'm not a big advocate of Facebook groups, just because I've never had a good experience with them, but it might work for you. Maybe right now that you're just starting, just to get the momentum going. And you're getting money. In the meantime, do you have anything else to say?
Yes.
Or any seasoned decorators here that can add on to that?
Yes. So business, just a business advice. In the world, there's 3 type of currencies. You either have time, you either have knowledge, or you either have money. There's 3 currencies. So for the most part, we have either 1 or 2, but it's very rare for an individual to have all of them, because if you have money, you're not going to have time. Even millionaires, they lack time.
Always busy.
They're always busy. They're always being productive. So one of the things right now that the question is, I don't have money, is what can I do with my time and with my knowledge? So if one of the things that we provide, if you're in San Diego, if not, I would recommend going to kind of like the biggest balloon distributor or balloon artist that is in your area, or whatever you're doing. If you're doing real estate, if you're doing photo booth 360, whatever you're doing, whatever your industry is, and go and work for free. Go do it for free, and that's the way you're gonna go and get experience. That's how I'm doing it. I'm going, and how I started working for free. I wanted to learn how to open up a big company, and I had to go and attach myself from somebody that has done it 12 times. So I went and I did it that way. But I'm not saying you have to do it all year, but you could do it one weekend. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to get more content. And I would ask the decorator, like, hey, if I help you, can I reshare and give you credit? But then you're also getting experience. You're getting knowledge on how to run events. I know Marlo's in the call. There's a couple people that have worked with us.
Yeah.
And you guys see what it is to be able to have to run 8 events in one day, 6 events in one day. You guys see us fighting. You guys see us arguing.
Marlo, do not laugh.
I'm like what it is to actually run a business with your husband. Like if you
Mhm.
decide to go that route, or with your significant other, or with a business partner, whatever, if you guys aren't married. But that's the only way you're gonna be able to get the knowledge. That's it.
I was just gonna give him a hard time. When he said, you know, do it for free. Well, you were working for free for me for a long
Yeah.
time. So was I your best mentor?
My
Uh,
brother mentor.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, I have to get them back, you guys. All right. Okay, Jeanette Castillo, will there be an online marketing class coming up? So here's what we're doing. We have an in-person business and marketing class coming up on the 29th of this month. And
In
honestly,
person.
it was just going to be in person, but Carlos, you know, because he saw all the interest in this Zoom call.
Yeah, from all over the nation.
Yeah, from all over the nation, because reality is not all of you live here in San Diego, and we want to be able to share that with you all. We will be opening it up via Zoom, and there will be a recording of it as well. So if you do purchase the class, you will, let's say you can't make it, you're at work, we get it, we were there. So you will still have access to this. And let's say once you watch the class, you still have some questions, always feel free to, if anything wasn't clear of, you know, in that class in particular, like, oh, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean an S corporation, or whatever we are teaching in that class? You know, you could still reach out to us, and anybody who is in this call will be getting discount for that as a perk for spending time with us right now.
How much?
So we're gonna be doing $30 off. So the class right now, and it's already getting, oh no, wait, online it doesn't matter. There's no cap. Well, 100 people cap. But in person, if you are wanting to take it in person, you will also get a discount. But we have a cap of about 15 people. Our warehouse isn't, I mean, it's getting smaller every time. It's probably about 15 people, and we already have some spots taken, so it's a first come, first serve. Let's see, that's awesome. Do you have any percent? Okay, a ver un poquito más para abajo. How do I do that? Oh, wait, aquí abajo? I guess I
Yeah,
missed,
and
a
then
ver.
you didn't say how to register.
Oh, yes, so it would be same 50% deposit via Venmo, Zelle, all the
Well, like,
payment
do they
methods.
send an
Oh,
email? Do they send a text message? Do they send
yes, you can send us an email,
or
email
DM?
or DM. Yeah, but I mean, for classes, it's different than with clients. And then we are only honoring that discount for today. Okay, guys. It's just, it makes it easier for me to stay organized. Let me see. I missed your answer. Do we need to open company or license? Oh, somebody. No, this is, I already answered it. Do you have an in-person class coming? I think,
Classes.
classes? Yes, if you are just asking in general, I'm sorry, Abby, for balloon classes, the creative side, we are. So we did open up a schedule March 28th. I forgot the other dates out of the top of my head. But the March 28th class is going to be a beginner's class, and anybody here that's taken that class, that in-person class, can tell you that it's a very holistic class. I know it's like, it says beginners, but I really just go into everything you need to know when starting the business from the creative side, and touch on a lot of the business aspects, and to build your confidence on how to prepare for an event, the techniques, you know, all the questions that you have as a beginner, like what brands, where do I buy them, how do I install on this surface, on that surface, where do I get backdrops, all those things are answered. I gave you guys an info packet, that you guys get to take home, and you guys lose it, I can always email it back to you guys.
Yes.
Okay, and then Carlos just gave me the information for the classes. Okay, there you go. So our business and marketing class will be on the 29th. Again, this one will now be offered online as well and in person. The balloon garland class in person will be on the 28th. That one is already filling up, and honestly, that one has to be smaller because it takes up more room. So I think at the moment we only have eight more spots left. We have the balloon wall and stacked balloon bouquet class. It's the first time I ever do the stacked balloon bouquet class. I've done other balloon bouquet classes, but this is a different design. That one will be on April 11th. And then balloon classics class will be on the April 25th. And that one will go over how to do like traditional classic corporate decor, like spiral arches, columns, how to build them yourselves, all those good things. I think I skipped. How can I? Okay, guess I missed the answer. And then Christina, okay, so Monica asked, I guess I missed the answer. Do we need to open a company or license both? Christina answered. Why am I? Oh my gosh. Oh, there. It's so touchy. I paid for my domain on GoDaddy. You can pay someone to get your an LLC. It protects your assets from clients not to sue you. Amazing. If you want to set all the set up at all. So at farmers markets, you have to get a permit to sell in the city. Thank you,
Thank you.
Christina, for sharing that. Michelle, I've been in the business since 2021, but I'm not super booked. I don't know how to advertise to get more clients. That is what we cover on our business and marketing class. Lorena, does registering your business make you an LLC business? Not necessarily. There's a lot of different
Entities.
business entity styles, and you need to see which one suits you best. We go over that in our business class, but regardless, we are not licensed professionals. We just speak out of our own experience and what worked for us for a type of business. So we do share that there. And then I don't know why Gabby shared Canva. A lot of people are saying Canva. I don't know why. Type okay.
Okay, said something.
Oh, okay. Got it. Eileen, do you offer discounts if referred by someone, or is it more just knowing how they found your business? I don't. I honestly, I don't. We've never really done that. We just get like, I'll get people send me an email like, so and so recommended you, so and so referred you. So you just, as a business, as a brand, as a person, company, you have to add and deliver so much value to your client that they will do it for free, and they will. Like, just think of yourself, like whenever I go to a restaurant that they treated me well, food was amazing, I tell everyone, I'm like, girl, you gotta go to this restaurant, or and it applies. It's business principles, as like it applies to restaurants, to plumbers, it applies to us balloon decorators.
People by people.
All right, so advice on servicing to new areas or a more broader distance, etc. More than 30-mile radius, just advertising. Yes, you got to target them, girl, through that SEO. Let's say you are posting. I know that you've taken the class already, Marlo. Start targeting those by putting the locations you want to service on all of your posts, your hashtags, the location, on your reels.
And I'll be touching on paid advertising, which is how you target a specific region. So
and demographics.
I just learned that. So I'm gonna be covering on the marketing class.
Yeah. All right.
The new
I
don't know, chapter part.
Okay, a ver, question. I have everything: registration, insurance, and a bookkeeper. I make business, but not enough to help with the storage, the insurance, etc. Should I cut down expenses, or what can I or how can I advertise? So we are right there with, like, we have everything too. We pay insurances, we pay our business license every year, we have an accountant. We went from paying a storage to now paying a warehouse. And I wouldn't say, Carlos always tells me, because that's my go-to all the time, and it's a money thing, like, oh, should I start cutting expenses here? Should I start working more and like giving less hours to my employees? And he's like, no, you have to generate more. So it sounds easy, and I know it's easier said than done, because if you already feel like you are struggling to get clients, it's just, how clear are you on your branding? What are you communicating to your clients? What work are you showcasing? Who are you attracting? So remember that you have to be super specific about who's your ideal niche, because if you're trying to I don't know, attract clients, higher end clients, I don't know, that are gonna be spending $750 to $2,000 a ticket on average or whatever, you have to showcase work that will, attract them, that they're going to like. Oh my God, I had another good point and I just forgot it. Do you want to add anything to
Yes,
that?
so one of the things that one of my mentors told me is that the money is made in the purchase. So cutting expenses, it has nothing to do with propelling the business. It's just, let's say you cut expenses, you're cutting down, I don't know, certain things, and then you have a very productive weekend or week the next weekend. It's going to be very hard for you to again propel the business up. So what you need to do is, and you touched on this in the beginning, is the rule of 80-20. 80% of your business or 80% of your activities produce 20% of the
Your revenue.
profit of your business. And 20% of your activities produce 80% of your profits. And we want to focus a lot of the times in 100%. So for us,
Mhm.
at one point, we were giving a lot of classes because it was bringing in a lot of our revenue. But in 2023, our 20% became our events.
Yeah.
So we had to cut down, and it was hard for us letting go of an area or
Mhm.
like Diana said, like when we increase our margin, we have to let go of certain clients. But it's recognizing what area of your business is producing the 80% and just focusing on that. If the 80% is coming from TikTok, focus on TikTok 80%.
Yeah.
Not the whole 100%, because it's the 80-20 rule. If a lot of your business is coming from your website, focus on making that website better. If 20% of your or 80% of your customers are coming from word of mouth, increase your customer service, be more giving, because that's what's going to bring the revenue. But we want to focus on the 100%, and sometimes that hurts us as business owners. So it has nothing to do with cutting expenses. But if you know your KPIs, which I recommend everybody to have, your key performance indicators, checking what are your expenses. If you are spending a lot of money on balloons that you don't need, I will cut that because you already identified it. But if you don't know what's actually making you lose money, it's going to be very hard because you're just kind of like blindfolded trying to figure something out. So I would recommend kind of like analyzing everything. We analyze
Okay, sorry,
everything.
I'm gonna interrupt you because I just remember what I was gonna share to Michelle, where she says like I have everything: registration, insurance, bookkeeper, a storage. So if you already are that far that you have all of those things, it means that at one point there was growth and there was enough revenue being produced. So I think I wouldn't say a red flag, but probably like you said, a KPI, like, are you sure you are pricing correctly? Maybe the prices that got you to that place are no longer suitable to maintain and grow. Like Carlos always tells me, getting to the top, it's the easiest part. Maintaining yourself at the top, that is the hard part, that being consistent, innovating, like analyzing, like where anytime there's growth, you always have to like revise, okay, what's working, what's not working, what's next. Like I said, like I'm sharing with y'all, maybe my 350, I don't think it's working anymore. And even then, even when I get clients, some of them still like, oh, 350, like I can't. But it's okay, because that way I can really focus on the clients that I do want to attract. I will be investing time in those clients instead of like wasting my time on clients that are not the ideal client. Okay, a ver. Okay, I'm going to be wrapping this up in a little bit, in about 5 minutes. I want to be honoring of your time. Thank you so much for sticking by.
It's called the I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I can't. Oh, there.
It's called the Pareto principle.
Okay.
Every business owner uses it. I can't even speak anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a Pareto rule, and it's called the 80-20 rule.
Okay, I get a question. What is everyone using to create mock-ups for the clients? I'm very new to this. Really ready to hit the ground running. They're sharing Canva. Michelle, I don't know if I can say this. My sister helps with creating LLC. She's on IG. If you need any help, of course you can. Like I said, we're all here to help each other. You need help getting one. She helped me with mine, and she's a bookkeeper. They're asking her Instagram page. Can you recommend a balloon distributor? I can recommend a ton. Out of the top of my head is laballoons.com. All of this information is provided on our online academy and in our class. Okay, Michelle shared her sister. So if any of you need to register your businesses, Michelle has a sister that can help you with that. Evelyn, thank you. So truly, totally agree with that. Priscilla, how long is the class? A few hours, days, few days. What class? What does the class cover? I don't know which one exactly you are asking, but in general, all of our classes are 6 to 8 hours. And it depends on what class you're taking. Usually all of our creative classes cover pricing, brands, distributors, technique, all those things. And
Just want to share
Yeah.
something real quick. Just because, and I'm saying this very genuine, and just because I don't know the person that we're recommending, but all the time, this is another rule that we have. When you're gonna hire someone, get 3 inquiries. Always. If you're gonna
3
hire
quotes?
or 3 quotes, 3 experts, just go and hire and do whoever's gonna be the best. Interview 3 people. If you're gonna hire somebody to buy a van, if you're gonna have a distributor, if you're gonna hire a tax preparer,
Okay.
accountant, whoever you're gonna hire, always do
2 references.
3 references. That was it.
Yeah, and remember, cheaper is not always better, okay? So just like with our services that we get a little bothered when people go with somebody that's cheaper and they didn't deliver how we deliver. It's the same. This is your business, this is your baby. We're not with our accountant because he's the cheapest, because he's not, but he is the best. Like, oh my God, we love him so much. Thanks to him, a lot of things happened. We got our warehouse, we got our corporation. He saved us so much money. He educated us on like write-offs, taxes, and all those things. All right, so Carlos is messing with my screen. So
I'm gonna post the dates and the classes and the prices.
okay. All right. So move up, more up, up. Okay, down. What is the day of the class?
just shared it.
Okay. All right. And then Melina, sorry if I missed it. When is the pricing class? That one, I didn't mention that one. That one will be March 18th. I know, perdón. Yeah, pricing class, not the pricing class, March 18th. It's a Monday, like today, like tonight. And it will probably be around this time, probably a little bit earlier because it might take a little longer. I will get back on the time. I'm not sure if 6:30 or 7. But I'm anticipating the class. I mean, this one already went over. I was sorry. You guys have to go. I totally understand. But it'll probably be at least 2 hours, I'm thinking. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. The class, Priscilla, if you didn't see, if it's, I don't know if you're asking about the pricing class or any other class. Carlos just posted the information of the other classes. The pricing class, that one's gonna have a price of 97, but like I said, for those of you who are here right now, it will be 67. So the $30 discount applies to all of the classes, but again, it has to be by tonight, okay? That's what insurance company you're going. We personally have State Farm. Get your quotes like Carlos said. That's super smart. I'm going to incorporate the 80/20. Go girl, that's Michelle. Marlo, in the marketing class, will you share how to expand to more parties, to corporate events, moving to Orlando and a lot of conventions, corporate businesses, and theme parks, hoping to expand into that market? So that is where ads come in. And I would say, at least for us, it was a lot of things together. A lot of the ways that I have attracted corporate events, they've all, again, because I always ask, how did you find us? It's not necessarily, which I still recommend, reaching out to them, but I have placed my brand in such a way in all the avenues that one said, oh, I found you on TikTok, a corporation. Another one said, oh, I chose you because I liked your website the best. And I was like, wow. Okay, cool. So having everything on point with excellence will benefit. You never know. It just takes one good client, just one, for your business to take off. So everything you do, always give it your best, from your social media to your website, all of them. You just never know who's gonna land on that, you know? A ver. Was that Marlo? Okay. Are you sure? Okay, Susanna's asking, can you share your tax consultant info if possible? Yes, we can. I'm assuming it's okay, right? Or
Oh, let me ask.
we need to ask him, because you guys, I'm telling you, he is booked and busy. Like man, I'm thinking I need to become an accountant, because he has a lot of
Yeah.
like, we don't know if he's taking any new clients. Let us ask him, just to be mindful and respectful of him. Because even for us, we've been his client for about 5 years now, and it's sometimes impossible to get him on the phone. He always makes a way. He's super accommodating, but he is that good. Like the word spread like wildfire with him, and he helps all sorts of businesses. Like all sorts, not
And
only
he does
balloon
have an
decorating.
interview process.
Yeah, he will interview you. So yes, Susanna, let us get back to you, because we just, like I said, I don't want to like send you his info and then like he tells you, oh, you know what, I'm not taking any new clients. Anna, if does anyone mind sharing their Instagram? Yes, girls, please connect with one another. Gabby, will you be offering any other classes aside from your beginners class? Looking forward to learning more. I will see. It's because honestly, at this point, it's really hard for me to differentiate beginners from more advanced. I'll probably do a poll of like what do you guys perceive as more advanced? Like, what are you looking to learn? Because I feel that my beginners class is kind of, I've been told that it's more of an intermediate class, because I cover a lot of ground. A lot of you that are on here have shared with me your experiences with other, and I'm not bashing anybody, with other balloon instructors, and you have very nicely shared with me that, you know, the value or the information we add to our classes is not found in all of them. Like they say nowadays, we don't gatekeep, and if you've been to our classes and if you are here now, you can see that. So yeah, let me see. So please let us know, what is it that you're looking for in a more advanced class, because there's a lot of components to it. Because you might be thinking, oh, price, like there's a lot of things that make up a business, you know. Is it more strategy? Is it more attracting clients? Is it the actual setup, like to visualize, to plan, to come up with designs, to how to attach, or, you know, there's a lot of things to it. So you guys can tell us what is your perspective of a more advanced class, or where you're struggling. It got erased or what?
No, somebody's asking for it.
Okay. Okay, can you go up, because I got lost. Más para arriba. Okay, that's them sharing their Instagrams. Okay. Wait, but they okay, no, up. Okay, but there is an account, but they will be offering class. Okay, no, ahora sí para abajo. Sorry guys, I'm being Spanglish right now. Gabby shared, yes, your beginners class definitely didn't feel like that. I came out way more comfortable and learned a ton. Thank you so much for sharing that. Eva, can you send me in Spanish? I am bilingual. Puede mandarme los precios de todas las clases. Carlos just did. Anyone mind sharing their Instagram? Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Y la del descuento de hoy, ¿para cuál es? All of them. So, Ava's asking which one has a discount. All of our classes for you guys have a discount. Like I said, but it'll just be for tonight. How can I register to the business class to get the discount? Can you put it on the share screen, or so we will be taking payments through Zelle or Venmo. I was gonna say Canva. I read Canva way too much. Venmo or Zelle. And to secure your spot, it'll be the 50%.
If they send money, what do they have to say when they?
Oh, on the description memo of your payment, just put the class that
And
you're
your name.
interested in and your name. So for example, because a lot of you have your business accounts, just put, you know, for example, Marlo Rodriguez pricing class 318. Let's say you're actually wanting to take the beginners class on the 28th of March. first and last name 328, because yes, we are here with you guys, but then we also have other, prospective students that want to take these classes too. So we are in communication with them as well. And our in-person classes are limited. So
15 students top.
yeah, to 15 students. So, and we already opened enrollment as of last week. So some of the classes are already, I think, are 328 class. I think we only have 8 spots left, but I need to double check. So,
And if for some reason they get filled up, I make sure to open another one, even though Diana doesn't want to.
yeah, okay. Any
Part
other-
of
but
part of being the marketing
you
director.
you close the chats, babe. I can't see.
Part of being the thing is that since I'm sharing that everybody. Oh, here it is.
Oh, okay. Más para abajo. Mr. and Mrs. Lux and Balloon, super helpful. So we'll be seeing you at the pricing class. Oh, thank you. I know I sometimes kid around with Carlos. Our last name is Rivera, and I tell him we should change our last names to Luxon. A lot of people think my name is Luxon. They'll be like, "Hi, Miss Luxon," or "Hi, Luxon." I'm like, it's not Luxon, it's Diana. But it's okay. Do it, miss. We want a third baby. We have two girls, and I was like, if we have a third baby, we need to name him or her Luxon, but that's
Whoa.
too much.
Fun fact, our daughters' names are combined and they make the name Luxon. So it wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah, it's Luna and Alexa.
All right, so we're sharing the screen for those. I'm pretty sure you guys already saw the
Michelle, my third baby will be Le Petite. Oh, I love it.
if you guys that's the way of
Yeah.
paying. But yes, like Diana said, please don't send a payment without your information
Yeah.
because we won't find you.
Yeah.
It will
yeah,
be impossible. We
Yes.
receive payments every day,
Yeah.
and it is very hard to be able to put it out there. And we have a lot of followers, and it will be very, very difficult for us to find somebody without the name,
Yeah.
the email, and the class that you want to take. Those are the 3 things that it needs to be on the what is it called, on the description.
Yeah. Description.
And then do you have anything like, I know like what Venmo asks you if you're a business, do you?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's on there. Just, a lot of you are
Oh,
use
is it?
Venmo, so don't swipe the turn on purchases, because then it doesn't send the full amount. So we're gonna wrap this up. Last message, Syria, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you. I've been watching y'all on YouTube, and your content is much better than others. So when I saw the free class, I had to tune in. Oh, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
We'll start making
Yeah.
videos again.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Next time, Miss Marce, I didn't get to make you jump on this. By a show of hands, who has about 5 more minutes for me to interview Miss Marce, the queen of social media with like over 200,000 followers? Give me a thumbs up, because she's about to leave. She's about to dip. Okay, Marce, you are joining. Babe, make her join.
She's joined. She just has to
Well,
mute
or
herself.
like, yeah. Yeah, no?
She's not a muting.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Marce,
Hello.
sorry to put you on the spot, but I like to show off my friends. And
Thank you.
I wanted to let all of these amazing ladies that have joined in how much I admire you. What a boss woman you are. It only took once to meet you to know what a boss girl you are. Like, just you shared a little bit of your story, which I will not get into because that's your personal information. But everything you've gone through and you've done to be where you are is admirable. You're so committed to your family, to your growth, and I love that about you. We share a lot of the same values. So I'm gonna do a 2-minute interview if that is okay with you. And just because, you know, you are a seasoned also balloon decorator, maybe you could share with us how long you've been in business and what are your 3 biggest advice for any beginning decorator that is here. Whatever you think. Let's say you're Marce from when you started your event business. What would you have wanted to hear from a more seasoned decorator that would have shifted your perspective and propelled your business?
Bueno, primero que nada, buenas noches. Voy a hablar en español porque mi inglés no es muy bueno. Disculpas a las que solamente hablan inglés.
Are you okay with me translating?
Ya, está bien.
Okay, I will be translating for Miss Marce, okay? All right.
Primero que nada, también gracias por la invitación y disculpen a las que no me conocen. Bueno, soy Marcela, estoy ubicada en Fontana, California y tengo 5 años en el negocio.
Okay, so Marcela is introducing herself. For those who don't know her, she is Balloons by Marce. She is based in Fontana, California, and she started her business 5 years ago.
Ujú. Los consejos que les podría dar, el primero sería educarse en el ámbito, o sea, tomando clases. Obviamente primero, bueno, antes eran más presenciales, ahorita ya hay muchas online, pero el primero es la educación.
Okay, so Miss Marce, very wise woman, very successful woman. Number one advice she has is to educate yourself in the industry that you know you are wanting to endeavor in, whatever industry that is. So if it's balloons, make sure to take classes, whether it's in person or online. Online are now very accessible to a lot of you.
Ujú. Otra cosa que podría ser un buen consejo es ser constante. No porque una semana no nos va bien o un mes incluso no nos va bien, tenemos que seguir, tenemos que ser constantes, principalmente al inicio cuando nadie nos conoce, tenemos que seguir publicando y publicando y publicando, así sea en todas las redes sociales para primero darnos a conocer.
Oh, that's girls, you guys take notes. These are some gold nuggets. So she's saying stay consistent, 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 constant, and consistent. Don't be discouraged if you don't get any business for a week, 2 weeks, up to a month. And let me tell you, real quick, last year in November, I only had 3 events all of November last year. So don't get discouraged, keep pushing forward. And just remember to keep posting your work on social media or wherever your avenues of marketing are, continue posting and be consistent.
Ujú.
You know,
Y
Matt?
por último, pues, no sé, trabajar en equipo, y como tú dices, tú y yo, compartimos muchos valores y para mí lo principal es trabajar con la familia y no descuidarlos, ¿verdad? O sea, tratar de estar siempre unidos y tener un buen equipo.
Wow. Wow. Another, wow. That's why I love you, Marce. She's saying that always work as a team, especially if you're working with family, stay united, work with your family, and always have your family at the forefront of your life before your business, make them priority. And remember, a lot of the times, this is our why. This is why we even are doing it, you know, because we want to stay home with our children or we want to leave a legacy to our children, you know. So always, you know, remember that and that is really good advice because that's always what grounds me. Like, for example, last year in November, I was like, what the heck? Like, in these 5 years, I've been booked and busy, but I didn't have work. But you know what? I'm a believer. So God highlighted to me, he's like, you know what? Don't stress, girl. I got you. You've been asking for rest, and I have because I'm always stressed, busy, and I've gained a lot of weight. So I took that time to start going to the gym and enjoy the heck out of that time with my daughters who will not be this little ever again. And lo and behold, my God, December was crazy. And the thing was that I was really nervous because previous Decembers were slow for me, but things shifted, you know, so I just relaxed. November, I enjoyed it. It was my daughter's 5th birthday. We had an amazing time, and December was a really good month that made up. January and December made up for whatever we would have made in November. So, yeah.
A mí me pasó al revés.
Yes.
Diciembre y enero estuvieron súper lentos, pero igual, o sea, hay que saber aprovechar el tiempo. O sea, en diciembre fueron fiestas, familia, hay que saber aprovecharlo y regresar con todo, incluso la verdad, cuando, bueno, no sé si a ustedes les pasa, cuando no me cae trabajo, no me dan ganas ni de publicar una historia, o sea, se siente uno así como que, ay, es que, ¿qué publico? Sin embargo, tenemos un montón de contenido para compartir, fotografías, videos que podemos sacar de 1 año, 2 años, que no les dé pena volverlo a publicar. O sea,
Yes.
¿qué es lo que quieres vender? O sea, ya
Yes.
lo tienes ahí, ya tienes el producto, vuélvelo a publicar, si eso es lo que quieres vender. Obviamente lo que quieres vender, no vas a publicar algo que no quieres vender, que, ay, no me gusta hacer bouquets y vas a publicar un bouquet, pues no, vas a publicar lo que quieres vender. Y entonces fue lo que empecé a hacer otra vez hace como 2, 3 semanas, reels todos los días, todos los días, todos los días, todos los días, pero como les digo, la constancia es lo que lleva al éxito. Habla ella de números en followers y eso. Puros reels, les dice, o sea, es nada más visualización. Es simplemente visualización, pero es la constancia de que no pierdo ni un día sin publicar
Wow.
un reel.
That is
Facebook,
amazing.
Instagram, lo que utilicen.
Wow. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack, but she was sharing that for her, it was a little different for her. Her slow months were actually December and January. But she took the time to enjoy the holidays with her family. And, you know, once you are very booked and you're just on this like go, go, go hustle mode as a decorator, whenever you have slow time, downtime, you're just like, I don't want to do anything. But then Marce says, remember, this is when you don't let go of that pedal. You want to keep pushing even more. So she said that, you know, all the followers, everything was because she stayed consistent. She recycled old content, repurposed content that she had from years ago. And whatever she wants to keep selling, she posted more of that. And that is how she's been able to gain such a great following, to continue acquiring more clients. So yeah. So thank you, all of you.
Ya nos pasamos.
What are her social media platforms?
Marce, it's Balloons by Marce, right? On Instagram.
Sí, se los escribí al chat.
Okay, Marce, we'll be sharing that. I know a lot of you have to go. Thank you for staying like an hour extra. I was not anticipating that. I'm telling you, girls, like.
Me voy a silenciar, gracias.
Thank you
Buenas
so much.
noches.
Well, thank you all so much. I hope to see all of you or some of you in at least one of our courses. I would love to meet all of you and share, you know, all the knowledge that we have and experience, but also just to meet you. I like to be friends with everyone, and Carlos gets so annoyed. Even with my clients, I talk a lot. So if you've met me and I yes, Evelyn, I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing, okay? But I love, you know, a lot of the times sometimes I don't even need help in my events, but I still ask for help because who knows that life's better when you have community. Like we were not meant to do life alone. So especially in this industry, a lot of us are moms and it gets lonely. Like don't do it alone, you know? So yeah, thank you all so much. Have an amazing night. And I hope to be seeing you all soon. Good night.